Okay, look, I have some really important information that I'm going to share with you right now. So important, I didn't have time to be able to finish and look great and get a haircut and all that stuff before this presentation. I did have time, however, to set up some lights at least, so hopefully I'll look decent. Um, but at the end of this presentation, I'm going to request $20 million as an NFT. The first come, first served. You'll see why. I am Larry Sawyer. I am the founder of Malels Foundation. And Malels is an acronym that stands for the meaning of life: experience, learn, share. And what we're designed to do is bring all the knowledge that we've learned together and share it with the world for free, not for a fee, but for the betterment of mankind, and not just for mankind, but for all the species in this universe and beyond. We'll get to that later. Right now, what I'm going to do is explain to you about the very beginning of this universe and what it's composed of. What are the root elements? There's going to be a series. We'll get into that later. The beginning of what is in this universe. There's a lot of teachings. Excuse me. There's a lot of teachings from the Hermetic, what would you call them? Hermetic lessons? The 7 lessons? I can't remember what they're called. As above, so below. Everything's a circle, a cycle, a vibration, a frequency. They learned all of these things way, way, way long time ago, but I'm here to bring it all together and explain it to you in a very easy to understand way. Let's get to the root, this universe. Essentially, what is it made up of? Let's get to the root elements. The root elements are static electricity. Static electricity, when it meets with certain types of metals, it becomes magnetic electricity. That, combined with a lot of different types of metals and minerals that are floating around in this universe in all differing, varying different sizes. But these are root elements, and every one of these metals operates differently with these electrons. The entire universe is made up of these electrons. All of these electrons vibrate at a very specific frequency. When you get down to the very root of that frequency, you'll see that they all vibrate at a 0 point that we can't register. We go beyond, that's 0. That's our absolute 0. From there, we begin other frequencies, and we have different types of frequencies. We have simple frequencies. We also have geometric frequencies, which we'll get into later. There's another element in space that we have. It's water. Water is a root element. It's very special. It becomes what it touches. It mixes, it blends, it's a corrosive, it's a lot of different things. Now, electrons come in contact with different types of metals, and let's say iron. Iron magnetizes, and then it begins to collect all of these small particles. All of these particles come together and they begin to form all of the elements, everything that's on this earth. There may be gas may be separate, I'm not sure, but it may also be created by these electrons and these magnetic fields and everything else. Then you have sparks, right? And you have gases. I don't know, those gases. But anyway, what's important is everything vibrates at a specific frequency and vibration. And when you can change up, you can mix up, mash up, you can do damage when you get frequencies to match frequencies that do damage to certain types of things in this universe, between whether it's cells, whether it's rocks, whether it's glass, which is types of rocks, crystals. Crystals are minerals, and crystals are important too, because what happens is these electrons come in contact with these crystals, and these crystals allow specific frequencies to operate. And certain frequencies are better than other frequencies. And you want things to operate at their supreme frequencies. So cells in our bodies, we have cells that want to operate at specific frequencies, or what they need is they need things to operate at specific frequencies for them to be healthy. And how it does that is you need to feed your body these root elements that are made up in the universe. These healthy minerals, zinc, iron, potassium, magnesium. These are all different types of gold, even silver. These are all different types of minerals and crystals that help your body and your cells operate at better frequencies. Sodium from nature, okay? So mineral salts, sea salts. Just like a quartz crystal that operates in a radio, you send electricity through it and you're able to operate at specific megahertz and frequencies. And those frequencies are able to transmit and receive through an antenna, a piece of wire, copper wire. You have different types of metals that operate and work with these electrons in different ways. Some of them are conductors. Conductors means it allows the electricity to flow through them extremely easily, without interruption, And if they become attached to iron, for example, iron is a sponge metal. Iron absorbs as much electrons as it can. And in doing so, as it flies through this universe made of nothing but electrons at specific frequencies, as it does this, it creates a magnetic field. And this magnetic field begins in small, probably begins in small. Depends on how rapidly this iron was put together, right? Because you have explosions and you have melting of things together. But the greater the magnetic field, the greater the gravity for that iron. And let's take Earth into consideration here. Earth, at its core, is made up of iron. Iron is very important. Iron of the Earth, right now, currently, is sucking up so much electrons that it creates a gravitational field, which creates our atmosphere. That atmosphere allows things to fall from the sky and allows things like clouds and rain to water the lands. So that is why Earth has an atmosphere, is because at its core it is iron, and it has received enough electricity and electrons pumped into it that has created a magnetic field that creates gravity that produces the atmosphere that we have currently. This is very important because it explains black holes. You ever wonder, what is a black hole? A black hole is a big old chunk of iron that has absorbed so many electrons that it has created a magnetic field so intense and so powerful that that magnetic field is sucking in electrons at such a high rate that even light cannot escape. The vibration of light, which is one of the fastest methods of speed at which we can register, except for maybe second to chemical explosions, which can happen extremely fast. And anyway, that's a different topic, because it's going to happen internal to your body as well. That's how you get adrenaline. But anyway, same thing with the Earth. The Earth's magnetic field is so strong that it's actually sucking in a whole bunch of electrons as we're flying through this space. We exploded outward a long time ago. We've been screaming out ever since, along with our sun and the solar system. And the Earth is just sucking up lots of electrons along the way. That suction of those electrons, that magnetic field, is what is keeping us being held down to the Earth. Because everything is vibrating all at the same frequency, that is why everything in space is just flying. It's all at the same frequency. It's all at the same vibration, right? It's different frequencies, but it's all at the same vibration. And we're all operating at the same vibration. You can think of it as like musical notes. And you have different notes. They say the Earth operates at what, an F sharp, 440 hertz, I believe. And there's a heartbeat to it as well. And there's a heartbeat to nature on Earth. So why is this important for science? How can we use this information to create new technology? I'm going to show you. I'm going to explain in the next video.